What is up, guys? It is Mr. Unholy Bus, and today, yes, believe it or not, I am a talking fox. Yeah, I know. It's sad. It's sad. I'm so ugly, and I had a bad hair day, so I'm just gonna use my my little thing I have. So I'm gonna use that. It's gonna be fun. Anyway, today we are gonna do this is more of a beginner guide on how to make a simple, like I'm being simple here, simple #1 part of the episode, or episodes, on how to make a sword. This is going to go over about the most basic things possible, how to control your camera, that kind of stuff. Easy. If you've done this already, feel free to skip it, go to episode 2, which will probably come soon enough. So yeah. We're going to get right into this. So I'm going to go over a few things before we actually start making. In order to pan around your area here, you're going to hold Alt and click at the same time. That'll allow you to do this. Then there's a bunch of other camera options here, which my favorite is just the scroll up and down, and then you can scroll around up and down, and then whenever you hold Alt. That really allows you for basically everything you need. And then zooming in, or while holding Alt, you can right click, which allows you to zoom in if you drag around, as you can see there. So yeah, we're gonna get right into this. We're gonna be doing before we do anything, you're going to go up here. You should probably be set to animation. We're going to set that to polygons. When you're making meshes, you want to be in polygons. Making the actual mesh, which is the sword, I'll get more into that later. Anyway, here we go. We're going to start out. You're going to go to the top here, and you're going to press Create, Polygon Primitives, and go to Cylinder. Now, before selecting Cylinder, we're going to press this little cube here, as you see here. We're going to click that. This just opens up a little menu. Now, when you're making swords, you'll understand this when we get a little bit more into this. You're going to go 810, which means that's the amount of division or edge loops, which you'll see here in a second. And once you have that selected, you literally drag out and then drag up. That makes your cylinder right there. Now, in order to make it highlight, or actually not highlighted, as you can see here, you select 5, the number 5 key. 4 and 5 allows you to switch between that, and then 6 is shaded. That really doesn't make a difference in our case because we're not texturing anything. Anyway, that is that for that. So now, this is basic, so we're going to get right into it. Here we go. We're going to go into Edit Mesh, and going to go Insert Edge Loop. You're going to use this a whole bunch, so we're going to get right into this. Now it says click, drag on edges. You literally click, and then you drag and put wherever you want to edge loop. So we're going to put one right here, for example. And now, as you can see, there's now a new edge loop there. We're going to want to now, just simple, we're going to want to make a little pointed end on the bottom of our handle, right? So we're going to go by holding, when you have an object selected, just by clicking it, if you hold the right click button, a little menu comes up here. Object mode is to select an entire object. Edges are these little edges here, which you can select, by the way. If you hold shift, you can select multiple, or you can press control to get rid of them. Then we have vertexes, which is what we're usually going to be in, which are every single point of every edge, which is pretty specific. And then we also have finally our faces, which are the face, obviously faces, as you can see here. Yep, there we go. So we're going to start here by taking, we're going vertexes. You're going to take the bottom by dragging all, and we're going to take all those vertexes, as you can see there. And we're going to go to Edit Mesh, which this is also you're going to use a lot. Merge to Center, which literally makes a perfect center dot. Turns all of those spots into one, as you can see there. Now, if we weren't to do, oh, by the way, Control Z is to undo something. Or you just go Edit Undo. Anyway, right here in vertexes, if we were to do this, which is our little button here, which is just to resize things, you'll understand all this as you just mess around more. If you were to do this, you still have all of those little vertexes right there. Those are all still there, and that's not a perfect point. What we want is a perfect point, so we're going to go to Edit Mesh and merge that to the center. Okay. Now that that's perfect, we're going to get another big point that you're going to use a whole bunch, which is, what's it called? Extruding. So first off, when you extrude things, when you shoot vertexes, you'll see it makes it into this weird thing. We don't really want that. Yeah, you don't want that. You want to undo that. You want to do, before you extrude it, you want to select faces or edges. Edges and faces work really well with extruding. You're going to select it, going to go to Edit Mesh and Extrude. Now, literally, all this does is make an exact replica of that face and allows you to move it. Now, it attaches them together, as you can see here, and now this just allows us to work a little bit with a handle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, resize it here, size it down. With my simple drag, this sizing button, you can rotate it with this button, and then you can also move it with this button. All right. I'm trying to cover all the basic things here. Then you're going to go to Edit Mesh and extrude that again. Now, obviously, it made another one, so there you go again. We have another part coming out, which is going to be our handle, which looks perfect right there. Looks good to me. Okay, now just since this is the first video, I want to keep it basic. We're going to do the most basic way to make a little cover, or I don't even know what that's called on the sword, the little cover part before you hit the actual, not the handle. You'll see what I mean. You go here, you extrude it, and now that makes another one. So we're just going to extrude it out like this, like so, and then move it up. Now, as you see, you have that little protection there. And we're going to actually, I'm going to extrude one more time. Obviously, as you can see, this is all extruding, which you'll get a hang of. I'm going to drag that in and a little bit up, which gives me that little bit of a raise there. And then I'm going to extrude one more time, which is the actual blade itself, by dragging up there. And now, in order to make a little edge, which is what we want to do. Obviously, you want the sword to be pointed at the end, right? Instead of just dragging this and going Edit Mesh Merge to Center, we don't want it to look like that. Unless that was your goal for what you're going for here, you want it to look like that. What we want is we want it to look like this until the very top, where it actually merges to the center. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our edit mesh key and insert edge loop, which again, you're going to use this a whole bunch. So get a hang of edit mesh is where it's all at. This is where most of your stuff is you're going to use for when you're making stuff here. So we're going to insert edge loop and drag that there. So we want all this part to be regular, but then if you select vertexes by holding down the right key, again, you're going to select it, select the top here. All the vertexes on the top are going to be selected. You're going to edit mesh and merge to center. As you can see, that makes a perfect little focused sharp part on the end, which is exactly what we're going for. Now, as you can see, this is all customizable. So say, oh, this is too big. You can, since I'm in vertex mode, like here, I'm in vertex mode, I select, and I'm going to resize. Let's say, oh, I want this to be smaller. Let's make this a little bit thinner. This is all customizable. Oh, this side a little bit thinner, that side a little bit thinner, that all kind of stuff you'll get. That's all customizable. This is just obviously the basic tutorial. And then other customizable things, you could add another edge loop like I'm doing here. Let me zoom in so you can see that. As I edited another edge loop, let's just say, oh, this just gives a little bit more detail. See, it's a little bit bigger there. I'll add another edge loop. You just don't want to add edge loops and not doing anything with them, so I'll add another one, make this one a little bit bigger. Maybe add even another one here, make that one a little bit smaller. See, obviously it's already starting to look better instead of that basic old straight line. As you add edge loops, you'll notice how that makes a huge difference. And then finally, that was the wrong button. We're going to do insert edge loop again, and let's add one in here. Let's actually make the sword right here a little bit smaller, like that. See, it has a little focus there. You can do another one. I'll do another. I'm just trying to get to the point where you're going to use a lot of extruding, which is this. Of course, it's all in the edit mesh. You're going to use a lot of extruding and a lot of inserting edge loops. But notice how I've made this easy model simply in like 8 minutes, 9 minutes, however long it's been, easily. As you can see, it's pretty detailed. There's been lines. Zigzag doesn't look absolutely perfect, of course, because I made it so fast, but that was about as simple as it gets. But I did that from literally starting with a cylinder like this, by extruding easily, by just selecting it, extruding like this, Ooh, there you go. Already see it just like that. It's already starting to come together. Two, see, I extrude it once, I extrude again, just like that. I already am starting to get that look of a hilt. And I can extrude again, I can extrude again, again. Or you want to have that bottom look. This is, see, as you can see, you start with one simple object. When it comes to weapons, like a simple sword is about as basic as it gets. You can start with a simple sword, add an edge loop, select vertexes here, and then select the bottom and merge that to the center. See, just like that, right there. Boom. Have a, or merge the center. Where's merge center? There we go. Have a handle already. See, that is about how as basic as it gets. Turning one shape into whatever you want. Just like from one cylinder to an entire sword. Of course, the sword could be taller. Say we want it to look taller, so we just select it, make it even longer like that. Now it's even bigger. This is all obviously customizable there. So yeah. That is it anyway for me for the first tutorial. I'm trying to keep this first tutorial simple. I don't want people to just give up because honestly, making any meshes and it's all so cool. It's so much fun. You'll really get into it if you like it. Just it's great. You're gonna love it. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. Episode 2 will be coming soon, which we will be going over curved axes. Curves are a little bit more in depth, so we're going to be going to that next. And then probably the third episode, we will do samurai swords or something like that. Whatever you guys request. But anyway, leave a comment if you have a question. I will be sure to answer it if I know how. And hit the like button if you liked it. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Peace out, guys.